Au mois de mai 1991, la première expédition ukrainienne de l'Himalaya a signé son audacieuse victoire. Elle a triomphé du Manaslu, 800-163 mètres, un des plus beaux et plus difficiles sommets du monde, sommet sacré. L'inconnu fait naître des fantaisies les plus inattendues. Pourtant, dans les plus inordinaires d'elles, il est impossible de prévoir les surprises des montagnes. Personne n'a le droit de troubler la paix sacrée des dieux sans être puni. Dans cet univers, séparé du reste du monde par les montagnes, vivent les gens. Ils vivent autrement que nous autres, mais c'est ainsi qu'ils se sentent mieux. Jadis, ils sont venus ici pour toujours. Ils mettent au monde des enfants et font l'éloge de Dieu. C'est ici seulement qu'on peut voir la vie humaine dans sa forme la plus abstraite, comme l'immobilité surprise qui dure des siècles à côté de l'éternité, où l'on comprend que la vie n'est qu'un havre temporel de l'âme. Les Sherpas répétaient toujours la même chose. L'approche de la demeure des dieux provoque leur disgrâce. Jadis, l'extraction de minerais de fer avait été maudite, comme elle avait rompu l'équilibre du matériel et spirituel. Celui qui brise les pierres rend la liberté au diable. Et les nouveaux venus ne se bornent pas de frapper par les piolets. Ils tâchent de grimper sur le trône. De temps en temps, la faiblesse criminelle nous guette. Renoncez dès le début à cette escalade. Qui peut nous juger? Tout est contre nous. Nous ne sommes pas seuls qui n'aient pas de chance. Les Irlandais ont décidé de tenter leur chance dans une année. Les Suisses, eux aussi, nous conseillent de prendre le chemin de retour. Les Italiens restent encore. Ils ont aussi de l'espérance à réussir. Pourtant, il y a quelque chose qui nous empêche de mener la vie tranquille. C'est la nécessité urgente de faire savoir au monde civilisé que nous sommes l'équipe du peuple ressuscité. Et nous aussi, nous pouvons. Au printemps de 1991, les alpinistes de 5 pays ont entrepris l'assaut de Manaslu. Mais ce sont seulement 3 alpinistes ukrainiens, Viktor Pastouk, Alexei Makarov et Igor Svirgun, qui ont pu signer la victoire. Les participants de la première expédition ukrainienne de l'Himalaya et le groupe de créateurs du film expriment leur grande reconnaissance à tous ceux qui ont soutenu la réalisation de ce projet.
The constant avalanches did not become a warning sign, but each of them deprived us of a certain part of our confidence. The surplusert, drawing near the dwelling place of the gods, evoked their wrath. Once even the mining of ore was subjected to curses. He who splits rock frees the devil. And the strangers not only bang with their hammers and picks, but attempt to climb to the throne. rock plateaus, which only yesterday seemed so close, in one night became unapproachable. Each of the following groups begins with the attempt to dig up an intermediate camp. The strongest and most enduring are only capable of finding separate tents. Their strength is limited. But they had a dream. Is it possible to so easily forsake it? By their unique grandeur, the mountains not only squeeze out your arrogance, but endow you with incredible strength. Time to time, it penetrates you, appearing from nothing. It suddenly fills all your being and surrounding space. Your thoughts flow freely, your senses become keen, and you can once again act. You search for and discover new possibilities. We just dug it away. I made a U-turn. Bang, it all came down. I didn't eat anything all day yesterday. I may have a cold. Maybe it's mountain sickness. And how about the lads? If they made it, then everything is normal. The snow is very deep, waist deep. Even the old snow has become crumply. This world, which seemed foreign until recently, but so harmonious in its primeval state, appeals to us. Embrace the earth with your soul, where the great Gautama, who enlightened by the divine spirit, became Buddha, the carrier of the truth. And he said that such extreme manifestations as life filled with entertainment and physical satisfaction, or on the contrary, life voluntarily chained to suffering, is equally distant from the correct path, which lies somewhere in the middle. This path of self-enrichment of knowledge is a path which leads to the appeasement and elucidation of the spirit. Since those ancient times, all those who recognize this wisdom do not forget to repeat. Om Mani Padme Hum, O embodiment of all good deeds, who lives in the lotus. Appeals to God are written on separate sheets of paper, on stones by the roadside and in temples, on special drums, hurda, each turn of which means a repetition of the prayer. Whose life passes in the skies, thank God for one more endured winter, and we with them, overcoming our pride for the understanding of a simple truth. Mountains, like people, become accessible to those who assure them of their understanding and respect. For them, God and the surrounding world are indivisible. The cyclic of natural phenomena brings with it not only the winter cold, followed by spring warmth, but also obligatory rituals. And again, the snow whirlwind, the penetrating cold and miserable provisions become a thing of the past. Together with the sun, hope again appears in the hearts of these people. All disagreements are forgotten. No one complains about discord. There is only one all-embracing joy, which turns into gratitude for the gift of life. First suitable day, we attempted to ascend to the foot of Manaslu, but the inner tension is still there, and we lack confidence. We need full concentration of our inner force in order to overcome all the anxieties which constantly come to mind. The ascent can only be attempted when fear has receded. Naturally, it's hard to overcome it and stop it from mastering you, but it is even harder to stop thinking. The Irish crew decided to put off the ascent for 1 year, and the Swiss crew would readily go home.
They leave us at 4,200 meters.
Oh.
They got to come until the base camp, but they say no, we stay here, too much snow, and so not easy to find an agreement.
Yeah.
But tonight we got a strong snowstorm, and now every time you got snowstorm, yes, you got to wait because there's a little danger, avalanche danger.
How far is the first camp? Many meters?
The first camp is about 1,000 meters
above your base.
Yes, yes, it is 5,300 meters high. Okay, mister.
You are tired, yes. Thank you very much. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Russians, good luck.
Time and time again, an insidious weakness creeps in. Maybe it would have been better to refuse from this ascent from the very beginning. So we don't plant our flag on the top this time. There will be other times. Who will blame us? Everything was against us. Snow, a snowstorm, which has been raging for more than a week. We are not the only ones. True, that leaves the Italians. What have they got to pin their hopes on? Nevertheless, there is something which will not let you live in peace. This is the urgent need to prove to the whole world that we are a crew and that we are supported by a resurrected nation, and that we can do this. Mountain climbing, without doubt, enriches a person, opens up his capabilities. He will long remain with the fact that he had vowed himself to self-perfection, wanted to learn the limits of his individual possibilities. Progress is slow, but we climb higher and higher. A small ascent, pause, deep breath. Movement becomes almost automatic. Some call us insistent, others even importunate. No one but ourselves knows the truth. An immense interest which borders on passion. We climb to such a height where every movement takes great willpower. The lack of oxygen is felt with the slightest load. It is even stated that the mind goes blank. No, this is a sharp lowering of the speed of thought. Even trifles require time, strength, and attention. Any decision is taken after a lengthy contemplation. A period has set in when spiritual fatigue is more sharply felt than physical, and then sleeplessness sets in. And again appears that eternal question, what for? We won't talk about us. Here, alongside, near the foot of the most divine mountains, live millions of people similar to us, but they are never lured by the peaks. For self-assertion through a satisfied and sweet life, rich stores, lofty art, and religion. And when this was never accessible, through politics. It almost the only one, together with an overflow of emotion, creates for each one of its adherents a full, almost physical perception of an illusion of participation in the perfection of faith. For what purpose? The reply is forthcoming. The peak rises above the clouds. Only by surmounting it will you find something to say to yourself, to your friends, to your countrymen. Only then will you be ready for reminiscences. Why are you sleeping like seals there? Genna was on the third rope, and I was on the second. I flew lower than the camp. How do you read me? Over. Any serious traumas? Over. A bit. Some scratches. Hurt my chest. Over. Do you read me? The weather. Listen. Wind. Rather thick snow. Mountain climbing, as a phenomena, without any doubt, is a sum of individualities. But do not attempt to find a complicated and exhaustive way of life where one would so easily renounce all personal interests for the sake of final success. I don't understand. Either I have mountain sickness or I'm losing my mind. I left from there to the left and cried for joy. I thought that in 2 days we'll all be there. Yesterday it rumbled, you know. The snow is wet there, and a crack, 1.5 meters wide. It all came down. Not that small. The whole plateau slipped down. We turned around and came back. The hell to all this. Reserve provisions were running out. Physical and spiritual strength were melting away with each coming day, and the weather with implacable force pressed them to the foot of the unconquerable mountain. The time had come when you, with all your nature protest inside, you had done everything to set foot on the peak, spending years on this, and someone else gets the luck. And these three chosen by fate took with them our pain and our dream, the last surge, several more steps taken beyond endurance, and the flag is planted on the peak. Group 3. Group 3. I'm base. I'm base. Over. Your location. How do you feel? Give information. Located some 150, 120 meters from summit. Heavy snow. Ropes heavy. By dark, we should make it. Good boys. Wish you luck. There is no realization of complete victory, and will never be. Today it is perceived as the completion of hard work, and tomorrow as another step into the future. The mountain climbers fraternity, as to its inner, plain organics, reminds one of ancient monastic orders. Sport without envy and rivalry is a competition with oneself. And all this, strange as it may seem, is full of optimism. And not one of them knows that sometime later, two of their Italian counterparts, hit by lightning, will never again see these mountains. For those who disturb it, Manaslu demands a blood offering. One of the sacred Buddha books reads, "You are inconsiderate if in the bloom of life you do not feel the approach of death. And with it, all that you are doing and believe serious, in one moment turns into nothingness." Is this a sport Yes and no. This is not sport. It's a sickness, as many joke. And what if physical loss affects the state of mind? Yes, it does. I can feel this now. My state of mind has changed since last year because there took place certain physical losses. After Lhotse, I have frostbitten fingers. I constantly feel it. It's like air. You don't notice it when breathing. The same here. When you have fingers, it seems you don't feel them. But when they're not there, it's a different matter. When one cannot do simple operations, this suppresses you. But I think I'll overcome. One must train. People lose hands, but learn to work and live. I have everything in place. I'll learn. It hurts your feelings when you are constantly reminded of your handicap. But with time, I will get used to this. I'm taking part in this so as to rehabilitate myself, reestablish my state of mind. And this is why it was so hard. An ancient Himalaya saying confirms, the mountain peaks are that spot where the earth constantly consoles with the sky, and water and wind try to hinder them. So every attempt of man to make his cherished dream come true, to find oneself in the center of the rampage of these elements, is worthy of wonder and respect. Mountain climbers from 5 countries attempted to storm the peak of Manaslu during the 1991 season. Only 3 Ukrainians, Viktor Pastuch, Alexei Makarov, and Igor Svergun, made it to the top. Participants of the Ukrainian Himalaya expedition and creative group of the film express sincere gratitude to everyone who took part in the realization of this project.